Good morning, one and all. My name is Rajesh, lecturer in Commerce and Management, Samhita Degree College, Rajmahendravaram. And in this video, we are going to discuss about the objectives of production and operations management. So this topic is from the second topic from the Unit 1. Here, mainly, these objectives are divided with two types. First one is ultimate objectives, and the second one is intermediate objectives. Second one is intermediate objectives. In ultimate objectives, the mainly again it was divided with of a four types. The first one is right quality, second one is right quantity, third one is manufacturing costs, and fourth one is manufacturing schedules. First one is right quality, right quantity, third one is manufacturing costs, and fourth one is manufacturing schedule. Right. So coming to the first point, right quality. Right quality of a product is established based upon the customer needs. Mainly, it is based upon the customer needs. Okay, so customer needs are translated into a product specifications by the design or engineering department. So right, customer needs are translated into a product specifications by the design or engineering department. So the manufacturing departments then translate these specifications into a measurable objectives. So the cost quality trade-off decides the final quality of the product. Thus the cost quality, after that the cost quality trade decides the final quality of the products. So there's a proper balance must be obtained such that the product quality offered to the customer should be within a pre-established manufacturing cost. So first of all, the quality of a product is established based on the customer needs. Customer needs are mainly translated into a product specifications by the design or engineering department. And coming to the second point, right quantity. The manufacturing organizations should produce the products at the right number. Means, so whatever the need, so they have to produce as per the requirements, right? If the products are produced in quantity excess of the demand, the capital will block up in the form of inventory, right? So whenever the excess production is produced in the organizations, that will be converted into finished products, so it should be kept in the form of an inventory. And if it is produced in quantity short of demand, there will be a shortage of products. So a proper balance is required for the production, right? Production quantity. So thus a decision is to be taken regarding how much to produce, right? That is right quantity. So here in this point, so we came to know that so the manufacturing organizations should produce as per the requirements, whether should not produce more than the particular requirement and should not produce within the limit of the shortlisting or shorten of a product requirements. So it depends upon the demand of a particular product. And coming to the third point, it is manufacturing costs. Manufacturing costs are established before the product is actually manufactured, right? So manufacturing costs are established before the product is actually manufactured. So the manufacturing department has to manufacture the product at the pre-established cost, right? In any case, any variations between the actual cost and the standard should be kept in minimum. Okay, so and next we are going to the point of manufacturing schedules. So schedule means nothing but of a timeline of delivery, right? It is one of the important parameter to judge the effectiveness of the production department. So that means scheduling is timelines of the delivery, right? It's nothing but of at what time the product should be produced, at what time the product should be reached to the particular customer, that should be maintained properly. That's effectiveness of a particular judgment in the production department. So there are many reasons like non-availability of materials at the right time, absenteeism, machine breakdowns, etc., which affect the timely completion of the products. So what are the main reasons for non-availability means? Reasons for that means it's a non-availability of materials at the right time, absenteeism, machine breakdowns, etc. will affect the timely completion of the products. So the manufacturing department should organize its activities in such a way that the products will be manufactured as per the schedules. So to achieve the above objective, the manufacturing or the production department has to make the optimum utilization of various inputs. Just like previous class I discussed about that, the various inputs are man, material and machine. So to have to better utilization of these resources, so the production department has to achieve the other objectives, so which are lower in the hierarchy. So manufacturing schedules plays in a very important role. So these are the 4 points we have in a particular ultimate objectives. Next we are entering into intermediate objectives. So next is intermediate objectives. In intermediate objectives, so mainly the first point is machinery and equipment. Machinery and equipment. So the objective concern to these areas is that the machine and the equipment should be such that they should be able to produce the products as per the specifications of the and accuracy required, as per the specifications and the accuracy required. So the machines and the equipment should be such that they should be able to produce the products. These are the machines and the equipment. These are the able to produce as per the specifications and accuracy is also required. Okay, so the total cost of procurement and running cost should be minimum. So once the machines are procured and put to productive use, then the next objective is to utilize these resources to a maximum extent. So once we have installed the particular machines or equipments in the organization, so every organization needs to use those machines or equipments as per the maximum extent of the particular utilization should be in a maximum extent. And next important point in this intermediate objectives is materials. Right? So the materials should be made available when required as per the specifications and the most economical price. I mean the most economical price. That should be the specifications, maybe in the shape, maybe in the size, maybe in the quality, etc. So these are the as per the required specifications as well as often in a most economical manner. So here also the specifications and economical manner. So this is the from the materials. And next important point in this intermediate objectives is manpower. So here, so manpower is an important resource or input to produce, and the success of production depends upon greater degree upon the type of a manpower and organization processes. So right, main important thing here is that it's the main important resources or input to production department. For any production department, the success is depends upon the manpower. Thus, there should be a perfect matching between the workers and the job. For example, if he is an accountant, right? He should be placed in an engineering department. That means he is not a perfectly matched. He don't know about the what is engineering or something else regarding, but he knows only the accountancy. That is a mismatch between the particular work and the particular person, right? There should be a perfect matching between the workers and the job, and the manufacturing department should be such that the potential skills and energies of the workers should be channelized into a constructive output. So in this manpower, the supportive services are also there, and the point is a supportive services. Here, this helps indirectly to achieve the other objectives, and adequate provision of the services helps to utilize some other inputs efficiently. So the objective should be set for each of the services like water stream, power, materials, material handlings, etc. Thus, intermediate objectives are supportive to the primary objectives. They are called often ultimate objectives. So, right? So these are the main objectives. So we have in the particular production and operations management. First thing is ultimate objectives and the intermediate objectives. And in this ultimate objectives, again we have the four types are there: right quality, right quantity, manufacturing cost, and manufacturing schedules. And intermediate objectives, mainly it's of a machinery and equipment, right? And in the same, as per the required specifications, as per the accuracy required, machinery and the equipment should be utilized. And next one is materials. Materials is as per the specifications and in an economical manner, right? And the final thing is manpower. So these are the main objectives of the production and operations management. Right. So the next topic is functions of production and operations management. So the globalization of economies has created intense competition among producers, right? So in such a cutthroat competition, only those will survive, means who will produce as per the requirements of the users and at a reasonable cost. So there is a need to plan and control production operation functions on scientific lines, right? So the responsibilities of production managers have increased in the present competitive situations, right? So we will start with often a first important function is production or operations planning. Production and operations planning, right? So production manager is completely responsible for producing goods and services as per the need of the stipulated delivery dates, right? He is the only sole responsible. Production manager is responsible for providing goods and services as per the needs of stipulated delivery time. The quantity to be produced depend upon the potential demand, right? So the quantity of a particular product is produced depends upon the potential demand. As per the demand only, the quantity is to be produced, right? So production manager has also to arrange various inputs as per the production schedules, right? So production manager has to arrange various inputs as per the production schedules. In order to undertake production functions effectively, it requires proper planning, right? That's what we're going to learn here. So it's a proper planning is required for a complete production and operations department. So there may be an alternative course of action, and a proper alternatives has to be selected there. So right, for any method, so there is so many alternative methods will be there. So the production manager who has to know about all the activities, and in that particular activity he has to choose the best alternative to implement in the production process, right? Here there may be alternative courses of action, and a proper alternative has to be selected. So production planning is an important function which a production manager has to undertake, okay? And the production policy of an enterprise to a taking of crucial decision as to what is to be produced, the quantities to be produced and methods of production and so on, right? So here the production policy of an enterprise pertains to the taking of crucial decisions as what is to be produced and the quantity and how much quantity is to be produced. Here what is to be produced and how much quantity is to be produced, okay, and within of a quantity is to be produced and method of production and so on. And here also have to know about the method also, right? At what method and what type of method is to be chosen and which one is the best method. The production manager has to identify those things, right? So to undertake a proper production planning, right? So the production planning is an important function which a production manager has to undertake here. Yes. So this production and operations planning, again it has certain sub points we have. So we have 6 sub points we have. Okay. The first one is limitation of range. Okay, so first one is limitation of range. The production manager should first of all decide the optimum range of the product. While doing, he must allow enough scope for specialization, even though too narrow a range may prove uneconomic. So the dangers of extreme specializations are explained under a subsequent heading called specialization, right? And next point is problems pertaining to the availability of resources. Problems pertaining to the resources, availability of resources, right? So the various resources, those are very necessary, as for instance, so premises, plant, labor, etc. These are the various resources will be available in the organization and may not be available at the required time to the required extent very smoothly. So problems related to the particular availability of resources so plays a very important role. So here, so right, and third important point is constraints of different production levels. Constraints of different production levels. Okay, so the third point is, so the quantum of production depends upon the considerable extent not only up to the demand so for the product but also up to the unit of cost at various levels of production. So as per the matter of fact, so although the unit cost gets reduced when a greater number of units are produced. If the production is in a huge, the production is produced in a huge manner, automatically the unit cost of a particular product will be reduced. So and the same way, although unit cost get reduced when the greater number of units are produced here, it may be of a no benefit if the number of units is more than the demand by the buyers at a profitable price, right? And in the same way, it may be no benefit if the number of units is more than the demand, so demanded by the buyers at a profitable price. And the next important point is fourth one is so problems of costs and prices. The fourth one is problems of costs and prices. The production manager has to establish a viable relationship between the cost and the prices, but there are largely conjectural, right? In actual practices, cost may be rise after production has begun, and in certain other cases, a change in the demand or in the production, a change in the demand or in the purchasing power, not a production, purchasing power may actually reduce the prices. So hence, he should make a balanced and a detailed evaluation of influencing factors here, right? What we will want to say is, there are large, in an actual practical way, cost may rise after the production has begun, and in certain other cases a change in the demand or in the purchasing power may actually reduce the prices here. So, and the final, not final, it's a fifth point is financial problems. Fifth point is financial problems. Finance is the lifeblood of the productive process. Everybody knows that a production manager cannot be indifferent with regard to the cost of financing, because the cost of financing until the business enterprises reaches the point of profitability is certainly an influencing factor of the major importance. Example, expert steel, etc., something else, right? So financial problems is a production manager cannot be indifferent with regard to the particular cost of financing, because the cost of financing until the business enterprise reaches the point of profitability is certainly an influencing factor there. And last important point is availability of managerial enterprise. The last in this production planning is availability of managerial input. Manager, so it's an expertise. Managerial expertise, right? Managerial expertise is not abundantly available everywhere, right? So especially in a countries like India, very often the lack of managerial expertise causes thickish problems, very sensitive problems. So while an extension of a production, or venturing into new fields, possesses a question as whether the existing management has the required degree of ability to effectively and tactfully handle the new situations or not, and the introduction of a new management on the other hand is also the sure to pose certain other unexpected problems. So the manager expertise, manager should be in a good position so that he can face the several problems at the time of an organization, at the time of the production, at the time of the planning, whatever it be there, right? So beside this, it is also necessary to ensure that the managerial facilities, in the form of techniques, equipments, etc., are also adequate, right? Okay, and coming to the second point. The second point in the functions of production and operations management is production control. Production control. So the term control implies the establishment of standards and objectives. So the coordination of the various stages and the variation of plans as dictated by the circumstances, right? Proper control of production is one of the important tasks of production management. Okay, so without any proper control, you cannot do anything in any way, right? Not only in the production activities, but also in any way. So proper control is required on a particular work that should be implemented there. So that is why, even though production planning and control are separate aspects, the two functions closely related each other, right? So production manager has to ensure that every production activity is taken up at a proper time. The resources at the disposal of manager should be used in the most economical way. He has to ensure that production schedules are adhered to meet delivery commitments for goods. So production control has to be exercised through routing, scheduling, and inspection activities, etc. So without of a proper routing or scheduling, that means the timetable activities, inspection, proper inspection, and maybe these activities should be done very thoroughly, and that plays proper important. These are the points where plays an important role in the production control. And third point is plant layout. Plant layout layout so deals with the setting up of various machines and other equipment required in the production process. It has a great impact on the movement of materials from stores to the machines, right? See, if material handling is kept in a minimum level, then it helps in controlling production cost there. So production manager is required to arrange plant layout so in such a way that it helps in smooth flow of the materials and helps in the controlling points, right? These are the main functional activities we have in the production and operations management, right? So first one is production and operations planning, production control, and third one is plant layout, and fourth important point is material handling. Material handling, right? So material handling pertains to the actual movement of raw materials, components, finished products or finished products and completed goods. So products within the stage of production. So that as a matter of fact, the production manager should advise a scientific material handling policies. So based on certain important principles, that's called an economy of movement, economy of floor, place, planning and handling, etc. Okay, and next important point, fifth one is maintenance policy, right? Maintenance policy. Maintenance of a machine refers to giving of a prompt attention to all those things. They are called helps the machines to work smoothly, prevents its wearing and tearing, right? Next one is proper maintenance should be done in maintenance departments, and there are periodic services at regular intervals involving tightening of nuts and bolts, springs, etc. And lubrication is to be done very carefully, partial strippings and total strippings and overhauls. These are the main important points in the maintenance policies. And next important thing is method analysis. Right. In method analysis, there are many alternative methods for manufacturing of a product. Right. Some methods are more economical than others. Some other, the production manager should study all the methods and analyze them in detail for selecting a appropriate one, right? For selecting, he should know each and every method, and in that particular method he can analyze them in a detail that which one is to be selected properly. So the process of selecting the best method is called of a method analysis, and method analysis is helpful in minimizing the cost and improving the productivity of production process, right? And the seventh point is work measurement. Right? Seventh point is work measurement. Work measurement methods are concerned with measurement of production of individual workers. Right? Those performing below standards will be helped in improving their work. So there may be lack of training or maybe of a lack of low morale. So whatever it may be the reason, performance standards must be improved. So right, work measurement mainly is concerned with of a measurement of production of individual workers. And the eighth point is quality control. Quality control. So quality control is one of the important functions in the functions of a production manager, right? In order to compete in the market, so proper quality of a goods is essential, right? So if a proper quality is goods is goods are made in a good quality, automatically the market value of a particular product will increase there. So the manufacturing should be such that the goods are a good quality given quality as produced, right? There should also be a control over rejections. We can also reduce the control of rejection pieces so from the market, right? So the inspection of finished goods will be unable to reject the defective goods. The main reason for the reducing of rejection pieces means it's a proper inspection of a finished goods, and the increased number of rejection adds to the cost of the production. So if the rejection pieces are increased, automatically it adds to the cost of the production. So that is the reason. So before entering into the market, the product should be inspected and thoroughly there, right? The quality control standard should be fixed and adhered for the to exercising proper control or rejection also. So quality methods and techniques along with the concept of total quality management have been there are in the further chapters we are going to discuss about all these things there, right? And the final point is motivating workers. So the last and the final point is motivating. So production manager has to ensure increased efficiency of workers in his department. In order to increase productivity, he will have to devise various incentive plans for the workers, and various he should understand the wishes of the workers and select the productivity plans and remunerations methods will be motivated workers and increase their satisfaction. So motivation of an employee plays a very important role in organizations, right? In any department, so motivation plays an important role there. So these are the important functions of production and operations management.